Hey, welcome to week 5, Lunch with Andy. Very excited, super pumped about our guest today. It's Christine Sapio. She is a longtime firster from Arizona. Say hi, Christine.
Hey, Andy.
I'm glad you're here. This is her 16th season in first, all with 2.486 coconuts, not to be confused with 2.864, 2.468, those other teams. They're in Flagstaff, Arizona, which is a beautiful country, by the way. I love Flagstaff area. She's the non-technical coach of the team, and she works with impact outreach, advocacy, imagery, marketing, fundraising, scholarships, all those wonderful things with the students. At competitions, she works with the scouting teams and the strategy team. So, hello.
Hey, Andy. It's good to see you.
It's good to be hanging out with you. This will be great. So you're a physics and AP physics teacher at Coconino High School in Flagstaff.
Yes.
What's a Coconino?
Coconino is actually a very old indigenous name, you see Coconino several places around here, but one of my favorites is actually the Coconino sandstone is one of the top layers of the Grand Canyon.
That's pretty cool. I did not know that. So we're learning something already. This is great. So Grand Canyon, you live around there. I've heard you talk about some of your trips in the Grand Canyon. Can you tell me about that?
Yes. So my co-coach Dave, who also, by the way, got me into robotics, started the sentence, "Hey, Christine, do you want to try this robot thing?" That's how I got into robotics. Cool. Started with, "Hey, Christine, do you want to try going rafting down the Grand Canyon?" And those trips can be anywhere from 15 to 19 days where you're camping and you go, certain miles each day and everything. You have to start at Lee's Ferry. That's the only place you can go. And then you raft the entire way. It's about 270 miles, about 200 named rapids. That's what it's famous for and everything. Some of the biggest, craziest whitewater in the entire world, but also kind of in between is just these peaceful flat areas where you just get to be in one of the most beautiful places in the world. Well,
that's exciting. I'd like to do that someday.
It's a blast.
Yeah. What are you having for lunch today?
I got some soup from Wildflower and a cookie. I'm so excited.
I've got some these are a Kokomo specialty. They call them Lord John's tacos. It's a very crisp shell with seasoned beef, and it's a specialty taco. If you ever get to Kokomo, we'll have some Lord John's tacos. Let's get to some questions regarding first. Sure. We got a lot of firsters watching here. So what's your favorite first memory?
It might be actually how we got involved in first to begin with. Like I said, we, Dave wandered in my classroom one day and said, "Hey, Christine, you want to go check out this robot thing?" And we went down and we actually went and saw a kickoff and everything. And we're like, okay, we don't even know what this is. Decided we were going to start a team, got this team going in like October. 6 freshman boys, 1 sophomore girl, 0 clue what we were doing. Kickoff wasn't until January. We're like, what the heck are we going to do with these kids until then? And then we learned about the FTC program. And so we actually were like, sure, why not? Let's actually compete in FTC. But we didn't get our robot kit until like Veterans Day, like mid-November.
Wow.
And the competition was December 1st down in Phoenix. Did not get the robot to move until about 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, drove down in a blinding snowstorm, sent the kids into the judging room and said, "Hey guys, just tell your story. Just don't embarrass yourself. Just tell them what happened." We only had the robot for about 2 weeks. They actually end up winning Inspire and going to championship.
Whoa.
Like, what just happened? It was so funny because we hear our name announced and everything. And we're like, that's really cool. And we have all these people coming up to us and going, "Amazing, you're going to Worlds." And we're like, "What's that?" Because that's how clueless we were. We were so clueless. We didn't even know like what World Championship was. It really changed the whole trajectory of our team. It really did, because we actually saw 842 win chairmans, World Championship chairmans.
Oh, and, yeah.
They're neighbors of ours and everything. And we had heard their story. And the kids came up to Dave and I and said, "Hey, how do we get back? How do we go to Worlds with our big robot this time?" And he said, "Well, guess what? You either win the competition or you change culture." And that might be my favorite memory of kind of that first event and everything, where we really saw what this was all about. And the kids were totally changed by that and everything. And it really just sent us on the trajectory that we've been on ever since.
Yeah, that spark of inspiration that people get, especially at Worlds, is pretty pretty cool to see. And you hear stories about that. And I can totally associate. Yes. A couple of years ago, I think it was 2019, 2018, there was a showcase event at Worlds. Speaking of Worlds, there was a showcase event that you got to participate in as a presenter, and you got to work very closely with Dr. Woody Flowers. Rest in peace, Woody. But it was a pretty special event for you, special for all of us who got to see it, and it was really a nice presentation. But you had to work closely with Woody in a manner that you really got to know him pretty well.
Yeah,
so tell us about that.
We were actually supposed to have Woody out at our FTC championship and everything. He was going to be our surprise guest. And then we got hammered with 36 inches of snow in 24 hours kind of thing. And we had to postpone the event and he wasn't able to make it. So we'd really only been in touch with him over the phone and everything. But the second we walked in the room for rehearsal, he comes running up to us and goes, I am so sorry I couldn't make it. I can't wait to see you guys again sometimes. I'm so excited to see you. Took the time to talk to one of my students and everything who was like, oh, can I meet Woody? Can I meet Woody and everything? Busiest guy in the universe during championship and everything, but he really took the time to make sure that he talked to my student and everything, which was so cool. It was just incredible. And Woody was just one of the most generous and warm people I've ever met. He was always making time for people. Even if he was so busy and everything, he always took the time to get to know someone personally. And that actually ended up being his last championship, which I didn't know at the time, of course, but it was a really special memory that I get to share with both Dave, my co-coach, and Maddie, our student.
He had a great life. He impacted tons of people. Thankfully, his wife, Margaret, is still in touch with us on the Woody Flowers group. And so it's good to talk to her. But yeah, we all miss Woody. He's such a wonderful guy that we all miss dearly. So speaking of Woody, so this week we've got some deadlines with regard to FRC team award submissions.
Yes.
Tell us about those. Tell us about those deadlines.
So coming up, and I think it's Thursday at 3 Eastern time, as your Dean's List and your Woody Flowers Award nominations. It's one of my favorite things to do every year is to put together those Dean's List nominations for my students. It really, really means a lot to them. Even just to be nominated is a huge, huge, huge honor, because that's saying, hey, look at these amazing kids, but these kids are the cream of the crop of these incredible kids. And then, of course, there's the Woody Flowers Award application, which I didn't know my team was nominating me for last year. Did not know. I knew they were working on something. They're very sneaky about these types of things and stuff going around. And they were asking some questions and things. And then I get this email saying, you've been nominated for the Woody Flowers Award. I was like, oh, that's so nice. And then they read the essay that they wrote for me during a team meeting, and I burst into tears. Absolutely was bawling my eyes out, because as a coach, you put your heart and your soul into this program, and you spend your nights and your weekends and your holidays working with these kids and everything. And sometimes you don't really know what that impact is that you're making until they take the time to say thank you. And that's really what that nomination really is the chance for your team to say thank you.
So now you've got a job. You won this award. You won the Championship Woody Flowers Award 2022. And you didn't apply for this really, but you have a part-time job in addition to everything else that you do, because and you're just now going to get into this, but like Friday of this week, we're going to see all the nominations come to life on the judging side. So you become a judge as a WFA, because I'm a WFA from 2003, many, many moons ago. And so I've been able to be a judge for a long time, and it's very rewarding. It's also, there's a lot of imposter syndrome happening here, because you read all these essays and you think, oh my gosh, this person's wonderful. They do these great things. How am I worthy to judge this? This is crazy. Last year's winner, Matt Fagan, when he was getting ready for the judging process, and we went through like the first couple of weeks of judging, he comes back to us in a meeting, to the WFA group as a meeting, and he says, I didn't realize that I won the opportunity to have a part-time job of spending time judging these things. Let's talk a little about this workload that you're going to get into and what to expect, because it is a little daunting. So what questions do you have about what to expect, and as we go into the judging and presentation season
what am I in for here? I like, first of all, I got to say, I love working with teachers. I love working with first mentors, especially. They're some of my favorite people in the world. So I can't wait to read these. But how much time do I need to carve out every week here, Andy?
Okay, so all of us judges do it slightly different. I do it my way. Dave Kelso does it his way.
Yeah.
Liz Caleb does it her way. I'm sure Matt Fagan's learned to do it his way, right? There's a very confidential process of us being assigned to certain regionals and districts. So you are assigned to your regionals. I'm assigned to my regionals. There's 2 or 3 of us that are assigned to regionals and districts, and that is super confidential. We can't tell anybody about those things, and we all know that. For me, I spend hours like on a Sunday evening, and I'll spend a few hours just reading through the essays, and there's things I really like, there's things that I don't like. If the whole essay just tells me about the definition of first and what gracious professionalism is, I'm getting pretty lost pretty early on. But if I really hear about how that mentor impacts the students, the special things that mentor does, those types of things, and then what I do is I'll like note it as like, ooh, this is a good one, and I'll read them through all, and I'll go back to my good ones, and I'll pick the 2 or 3 good ones that I like, and I'll actually nominate one of those. And the other judge or judges will come in and they'll nominate theirs. And many times our nominations for the winner align, and it makes it pretty easy. Sometimes those nominations don't align, and we have to kind of debate it. And those debates are healthy and fun, and we can talk about it. Does that make sense with regard to the judging process?
Well, and the criteria is really laid out on the website, right?
Yeah.
It's right there and everything. So just another reminder, make sure you guys follow the criteria when you're nominating your mentors.
That's our best rubric, is that criteria.
It really is.
Really.
I would just say, like, writing the Woodie Flowers, I know I haven't written one, obviously, but, writing the Dean's List especially writes itself when you have that someone that's really special and everything, and you just can't wait to tell their story. So I can imagine that this would be the same way. Like, if you're struggling to find things to write about, maybe wait a year or 2, but it. You know that person who's really special in your team and really in your life and everything. So
you're excited. This is going to be fun. You're going to get all these essays. You're going to read them it's like Christmas morning. You read all these essays. It's a lot of work, but it's also like each one's a little present, and it's pretty cool. So you also your team, the Coconuts, do a really cool thing, a unique thing I've not really heard any other teams doing as an FRC team. Is it you as your team, or you specifically, or you guys are PDPs for FTC in the state of Arizona, even though you're an FRC team? Tell me about that.
We grew FLL just hugely in Flagstaff. There was no First LEGO League in Flagstaff, and before we came along and everything, and first got wind of that and contacted me and said, hey, how would you like to take over the First Tech Challenge program for Arizona? And I said, okay, sure, why not? So I got to say, hey, Dave, do you want to go run FTC? But we said, we're going to do it in Flagstaff. We're going to do it kind of out of our hometown, because, again, we're really far away from most of the rest of the population of the state. And we said, we're going to need a group to do it, and let's have the Coconuts do it. So it's pretty amazing. Actually, the entire process is pretty cool. So teams pay us entry fees. The kids have to vote on buying things like fields and electronics and awards and t-shirts and all the stuff that it takes to actually run the event. So they take the money that they collect as the entry fees, divvy it out, and make sure that it's it's what we need to run the tournaments. Sometimes it's travel for key volunteers. So a lot of times if we have a new tournament, I'll pack up a minibus full of kids and I'll take them down and I'll say, guess what? We're spending the night in Phoenix and we're going to run this tournament. And they train as kind of those key volunteers and everything. So they're CSAs and they're robot inspectors and they're running the event. They have the support roles and everything. And then they train other teams how to do that. So they actually go down and we'll have a host team at whatever school is at, but they're the ones that are training those students and those volunteers on how to run the tournament. So
I thought you just had these 2 wonderful programs, FRC team and FTC team. I had no idea your FRC team ran all the events or all these events in Arizona.
And we're getting ready to run. I don't know how big your state championship is for FTC, but ours is 48 teams. It's 2 divisions. So we ran 9 qualifiers, and we're getting ready in a couple right before week 1. Actually, we're going to go ahead and we're going to run I'm going to pull the kids. We're not building that weekend, and we're gonna run a 48 team state championship. 2 divisions, Grand Canyon and Saguaro, in honor of the national parks in Arizona, and it's a blast. They do an incredible job with it too. They run the live stream. They run they do everything. It's I couldn't do it without him. I will say that. Without the team, there is no way that this would run the way it does.
And I know your co-team leader, Dave, is a WFA winner, but
yes.
you guys, you wonder why Christine won WFA last year? There you go. That's pretty awesome. I mean, who else is doing this? That's amazing, amazing stuff.
Yeah, this is what we live for. We love it.
That's impressive. So good job to you, your alumnuts, the Coconuts, Dave, everybody who's helping make this work. So very cool.
It's
very
a lot of fun. So thanks for designing such a great game and everything.
Oh yeah, well, I've got a good team here too. They do most of the legwork to do those details. So like you have a great team. I've got a great team. We empower our people to. Yeah. So hey, what questions or anything do you have for me?
Okay, the question that my kids want to know is, what do you think is going to be the biggest surprise in this year's FRC game? What are we not expecting that we're going to see as the game starts to play out? Okay,
I don't know if we're not expecting this, or a surprise, but have you ever seen like a county fair or a state fair where you have the figure 8 tracks where the cars go around in the figure 8 and they bash each other in the middle? I think that's going to happen. I think we're seeing the community is over here, right? But then the loading station's over there, and we're going to have this, right? We're doing this, and we're doing this, and there's right here in the middle. It's going to be nasty. It's
going to be ugly.
So there's going to be a lot of high-speed ramming with bumpers. There's going to be some gnashing of teeth, I think, with referees. Was that a penalty? Was it not a penalty? There's going to be what I would call a lot of electrical system checks. When you get your robot hit really, really hard, and does it still run, or did you just lose power?
Did you just disconnect the battery?
Yeah, did something. So I think the figure 8 Crisham derbies that we see in like Midwest county fairs, we're going to see that. I hope it's not bad. I hope that it's a good thing. Yeah. I hope that we don't see destructive things.
Yeah, we're we did the math on our robot and everything. We're going for the high cones and everything, and they're trying to fit it all in a 24-inch robot. And I know
24-inch tall, wide,
24-inch base, 24 by 24-inch base, and everything. They're going to try to fit it all in there. It's little, so that's all we got right now. But so little and cute.
It's cute.
So it'll be interesting.
Well, that's cool. I'm excited for you. Hopefully we'll see your robot at Worlds, and we'll be able to maybe our robot will make it to Worlds. I don't know. Yeah. We'll see. So, hey, this has been great. Love the discussion. Looking forward to seeing you again in Houston. I think all the viewers got to know you today. That's great. I think we learned some things. Anything you want to say to the viewers before we leave?
No, just good luck, have fun, and may the force be with all of us as we head into the season.
Be safe, have fun. We'll see you next week. We've got Michael Corsetto of Citrus Circuits joining us next week. He'll be fun to talk to also. So take care, Christine. Have a great week.
It was great to see you, Andy. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.